When the figure is seen running west across the Losi roof, the figure drops off the roof and begins to crawl to the western ledge of the roof.
You hear how they're addressing this, right? The figure, the figure, the figure. Not Tyler Robinson, Tyler Robinson, Tyler Robinson. He is banking on you being stupid. See, I really wasn't going to talk about this. I really wasn't. But the thing is, you need to see, is someone really trying to carve a narrative? I'm tired of watching these people just lie and use information that's standard or normal, or maybe is has already been requested and is being requested again, and turning this into a massive deal. We're coming up into the end of the Tyler Robinson hearing, where they're going to make a decision here on September 1st. So the prosecutors, the defense, they're submitting all of their final information to the judge, essentially the whole case that they presented in front of us the other week in paper form. So they're submitting, there's going to be all kinds of little things. So now they're starting to trickle in this weird propaganda message vis-a-vis Benny Johnson. Take a look.
Charlie Kirk was like a brother to me. We worked together and built together for nearly 10 years. I emceed the guy's wedding to Erika, and that same Erika asked me to sit with her at Charlie's murder pretrial in Utah last month. And that's exactly what I did. And I told you the truth.
Did he? Because I'm pretty sure he got called out by everybody. I mean, everybody, from people that were in the courtroom to people that weren't, that were making content, that talked to people. I mean, really, bro?
About what happened in the courthouse that day and the demonstrable evidence that the prosecution has.
Do you see how they're like, it looks like he's trying to force you to believe what he's saying. They're getting desperate.
And now something truly stunning has happened. The defense agrees with me. Isn't that shocking? Ladies and gentlemen, what I said, and I caught a lot of heat for this, by the Charlie Kirk murder industrial complex that is making an obscene amount of money lying to you about what's going on and what happened in the courthouse that day, decided to come after me for explaining precisely what the prosecution has, which is this. You can see Tyler Robinson on campus that day. You can follow his movements from various different security cameras. Some of them are really good. Some of them are not as crystal clear, but all of them show Tyler Robinson's car, his license plate.
See, the problem is not whatever footage you say you have. What it is that you're saying it's definitely Tyler Robinson. That's the problem everybody has with you, bro. That is the problem. It's not whether there's footage or not. It is that there is not clear, crystal clear 4K high definition footage to prove that there's Tyler Robinson there. And also now we're seeing compressed footage on purpose introduced into court. This is out of control. It's out of control. Introduced into court. You got to be kidding me. No way.
His face. They show details of his clothing and his actions on the rooftop. This is
they do not. No, they do not, bro. They haven't seen anything we haven't. There's nothing that they've seen that we have not seen. It's not true what he's saying. Flat out. He is lying. And do you see how the forcefulness of it that he's feels that he needs to express so heavily? That is desperation. I'm telling you. Let me ask you a question. Why would they allow us to see his license plate number of his vehicle when they're pulling it away from his house? But when it's in the UVU garage, allegedly, we can't see it. It's completely wiped out. Why?
What I said, and this was a horrifying thing to watch because you were just feet away from Tyler Robinson as the Kirks wept together, Charlie's mother, father, and wife. Tyler Robinson, with his pale, sallow, sunken, emaciated self, sat staring at the floor, not even a hint of remorse. Ladies and gentlemen,
that's carving the narrative. That's carving the narrative. He can't prove that. He can't prove that.
Was that he did it? Because ladies and gentlemen, Tyler knows that he did it.
Oh, yeah.
Because Tyler's own defense team knows that he did it.
See, this is where it gets insidious. he's going to use intelligence against you. If you're not intelligent or you're not educated, I guess you could say, on this specific stuff and how this is typical, the burden of proof is on the state. They did not prove that. The state has not met the burden of proof. That's what they're saying. The defense is saying that the state has not met the burden of proof for a trial for death. So they're asking the judge to withdraw that again. And like I said, they're going to be doing a lot of different deposits to the judge. And he's obviously, Benny Johnson, an insider, and he's going to be getting information. But listen to how he's trying to explain his way through to make you believe a certain narrative. It's so biased. It's crazy. This is very un-American. Very.
They just filed a brief with the court because the court is heading in to decide whether Tyler Robinson will be facing the death penalty. And effectively, this filing says, we're pleading for mercy. Yes, Tyler Robinson went there with the intention to kill Charlie Kirk. Yes, Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. He was there on campus. He was there that day. This is him in the security footage.
That's not what they're saying at all. It's not what they're saying at all.
We agree with the framing.
How could this be legal, what he's saying?
Of all of the evidence that was presented, you can see that. I mean, exactly what I described to you. Here is Tyler Robinson's defense using the same arguments and the same evidence. Saying here, ladies and gentlemen, for instance, you can see Mr. Robinson, not a figure, not Fed slop, not some agent or whatever, some Mossad guy, but like literally Mr. Robinson in the video walking up and down the stairs at UVU with a gait impaired by something long in his pant leg for reasonable inference from the evidence provided that it was a fully assembled rifle. This is the defense writing this. This is the defense. So and we're going to zoom out here.
All that the defense is doing is addressing it in a legal way that responds to the state's accusations. They have a common, not decorum, but way to address people that are in the court. You see what I'm saying? So this is their back and forth discourse as they're discussing what's going on with this. Mr. Robinson in the video walking up and down the stairs at UVU with the gait impaired, something long in his pant leg, for reasonable inference from the evidence provided that it was a fully assembled rifle. This is the defense writing this, all of that he's saying. Reasonable inference is the standard, okay? It is not a concession. It's not them giving up. At a preliminary hearing, the judge doesn't weigh credibility and doesn't decide guilt. Evidence gets viewed in the light most favorable to the prosecution. Inferences get drawn for the prosecution. A filing that says reasonable inference from the evidence provided is describing what the state is entitled to argue at this stage. And he reads a full page of the filing out loud here and listen to what the document calls the person on the roof.
And show you exactly because effectively what they're saying is that Tyler Robinson went there to kill Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was killed, but he didn't mean to hurt anybody else, and that he shouldn't have to face the death penalty for that. This is what they write in their filing with the court. Here we go. It says that actually the best evidence that the court has that Tyler Robinson was there to kill Charlie Kirk that day is the videos that I described to you that were played in the court, that were not allowed to be released at full quality and resolution.
I wonder why the most transparent government in the world in history
struck by a projectile in the left side of his neck, and his injury resulted in death. This is Tyler Robinson's defense team writing this, okay? So we can put that one to bed, right? The exploding microphone. The best evidence of the events of September 10th from the Utah Valley campus are the videos. You see this? Okay. Here's the filing. You could read it for yourself.
Yeah, that is the only evidence because you don't have the rifle. You can't match if they're whatever bullet they pulled out of Charlie allegedly. You can't the towel. I mean, you can't place anything at the scene. The only thing you can do is show evidence of somebody possibly committing a crime, or definitely committing a crime, conspiracy or whatnot. So of course that you have to realize, like, it's very simple. Obviously, the best thing you have is that footage because it shows everything aligned timely. But whatever they have, if we haven't seen it, nonetheless, this is going to always be the best thing unless you have his fingerprints. You can match the bullet to the firearm. You can match all the DNA, and it's just Tyler Robinson, and he has gunshot residue. That's where you'd be able to say, okay, there's other evidence along with video that ties him to the scene. But right now, all they're saying is person that looks like him was on the roof. That is going to be the best, and that's how weak this case is. That's what you need to understand. That is how weak this is.
The compilations of UVU surveillance footage, the exact ones that were played for me and everybody in the courthouse, the surveillance depicts the roof of the Losi building and the walkway between the Losi building and the computer science building. The shooter is seen going over the railing, separating the walkway from the Losi roof, exactly as we described it. Each of the videos then jump when the figure is seen running west across the Losi roof. The figure drops off the roof and begins to crawl to the western ledge of the roof.
You hear how they're addressing this, right? The figure, the figure, the figure, the figure. Not Tyler Robinson, Tyler Robinson, Tyler Robinson. Okay, this is like he is banking on you being stupid. That's what he's doing.
For 15 to 30 seconds, he is in the prone position. The figure gets up and then begins.
You know what? Honestly, let me ask you a question. What interest does somebody have to want to convict somebody so bad before the jury is out? The judge isn't even doing that. And Benny Johnson is out here forcefully telling you that Tyler Robinson is the guy that killed him without a shadow of a doubt. You got to ask yourself, why? Why? This is a young man's life, for real. And all these things that are adding up, it's not right, man. It is not a plea. It is not an admission. It is not pleading for mercy. It is an adversarial motion arguing that the state has not pled the facts that satisfy the statute required for the death penalty. So in fact, it's quite the opposite. You're basically saying, hey, judge, the state has not proven beyond without whatever it is they need to prove to get the death penalty to go to trial for the death penalty. There is no proof. There's not enough proof for that, is what they're trying to say. So when Benny Johnson sits here and tells you, oh, they're just exceeding the match, it's over. They've exceeded what can be given. The mountain of evidence has toppled over, and the defense has given up. When he acts like this in this video that you just watched, it makes my skin crawl. I just cannot believe that the guy is willing to put someone to death. I mean, look at him. Look at this guy. Look at his face. Does this look like somebody that you want wishing bad against your son or you? This is scary, man. And I'm concerned. Pray for him. That's all I can say. Other than that, man, this is some really, really dark stuff. I hope you enjoyed the content. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to throw the poop emojis at Benny Johnson and Jack Posobiec, wherever you're at. Peace.